Okay. Hello everyone and good evening and welcome back to Extreme Racing League Formula 1 Division 1 Racing. And for today we're going to be in round 6 for the Mexican Grand Prix. And we're already underway with qualifying here in Mexico. This track where there are very notable overtaking opportunities, such as here where Hank was now crossing this track that consists of 17 turns, so it's a pretty technical track, but also a lot of overtaking opportunities after the long DRS zone in Sector 1, which is the longest distance between the finish line and turn 1 on any track in the F1 calendar. We have Seb Mail at 119.5. Let's see Shahwen in the Alfa Romeo, if he's gonna do a decent time. And we have Motti at 116.3. So this is a 4.3 kilometers track, and it's gonna be a 36 laps race, or 35 laps, not very sure. And Shahwen at 115.8, and is on provisional pole from now. Let's see the Red Bull driver, who is on reserve duty, who is usually in Division 2 and now is taking on the Red Bull seat and filling for the absence of the usual driver. And 115.8 goes fastest. See how Movement's gonna do in the Ferrari on the softs. So this track consists of 3 DRS zones, one in Sector 1, 2 in Sector 1 actually, and one in between Sector 2 and 3. The one in Sector 1 heading into Turn 1, obviously, after a very long straight, and we had Movement go 118.7. CAV was just going fastest in Sector 1, so as I was saying, a DRS zone heading into Turn 1, which is a very good overtaking opportunity there at turn 1, and for many chaotic starts for the race for lap 1. And also you've got right after a DRS zone heading into turn 4, which also can be an overtaking opportunity heading into also turn 5 and the hairpin at turn 6, and at AV at 114.4. That's now we are looking at how the top drivers are gonna be performing. We got AV at a 114.4. Let's see how Lykola is gonna do. Lykola is on the mediums, and good job for Lykola, who just invalidated his lap. Sad that we only have 12 drivers on track because of many unexpected absences. I don't know. So back in Season 1, we've had a very exciting Mexican Grand Prix. It was raining throughout all the race, and it provided us with a dramatic race that saw Amir win, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, Amir did not win. Sorry. I'm just used to him winning, so. Now Amir is leading the championship, but it's still pretty close, but I don't think it's gonna stay close because most of the competitors will not be starting this race. And we had Mason go fastest in Sector 2. The Ferrari driver apparently finding grip and pace here at the Mexican Grand Prix. See how much he's gonna do. And that's 116.2, which put him 5th fastest ahead of his teammate by 0.8 seconds. Now let's go on board with the Mercedes of the championship leader, Amir, who is leading the championship by 38 points, heading into round 6, ahead of AV by 38 points. So that's a pretty big gap. I think it's only 6 rounds in, but still a long season left to go, so everything can happen. And as we can see, Amir smoothly all the sectors, not a single mistake, and fastest in Sector 2 on the mediums. So will he be going for a fastest time here on the mediums, which is going to be a strategic advantage for Amir, and a 1:15.7, which will put him 2nd fastest, but 1.3 seconds behind AV, who's on the softs. On board now with Atomar in the AlphaTauri in his debut race, and fastest in Sector 2, went a little bit wide at the exit of turn 12, but there he is into the stadium, which is a very great turn. And a 1:14.9, 2nd fastest, but a little bit far, 0.5 seconds behind the provisional pole sitter. And the 1:15.0 from the Red Bull, which put him P3, and very close behind Atmar, who is 2nd. Less than 1/10 of a second separates the 2nd and the 3rd. And Shahwan improving his time, promoting him to P5, and Amir down to promoting him to P4, excuse me, and Amir now down to P5. So I think Amir is going to start to reconsider his medium. Lycala now go fastest in Sector 1. So yeah, Amir is going to have to reconsider, since the track is getting faster with the drivers doing more laps and the grip becoming better. See how the McLaren is gonna do. And fastest in Sector 2 from Lycala. And 1:14.998, that will put him third fastest. So still don't have. Most of the drivers are on the pit with again the yellow with 5 minutes left to go. And oh, a flip, spinning right at the pit entry and hitting the wall with his rear wing. So I guess that's a new creative way of going into the pits, spinning into the pits. He's doing some drifting. So till now Amir on the track. Let's see Moomin now starting a lap, and Amir switching to the softs. We have also AV heading out, and I think that's gonna be his final run. And Moomin slowing down and apparently aborting his lap. Let's go instead. And Amir, who is now on a flying lap on the softs, will he be going for fastest time here in Mexico? He is, since Amir still hasn't been able to get any pole position since round 1, so 5 rounds without any pole. But still gaining 4 wins. 3 wins actually out of 5 rounds. So Amir showing again that consistency is always key and speed isn't everything. And Amir improving by a lot heading into sector 2, but still not as fast as sector 2. And Amir crossing the line, and a 1:14.5, second fastest from Amir, very close behind the leader. But now let's go to the leader, who is on a lap improved by a bit, and Moomin Graham retired from the session, and he is yellow flags in this quarter. Went too early on the throttle on the curb and lost the car and into the wall, and that will be it for AV Heat today in qualifying. Well, that's gonna be good news for Amir, who is on another lap. See if he's gonna improve on his second lap in a row on these tires, and apparently a fastest sector 2 from Amir. And now on 1:14.3, and Amir goes fastest and is now on provisional pole with only 1 minute and 30 seconds left here for qualifying in Mexico. And Atomar going a little bit going slowly into turn 2 and 3, but actually getting fastest sector 1, so I don't think I was going slowly then. a very tricky part of the track here in Sector 2, where a lot of time can be... Ooh, and that was a close call, and the fastest Sector 2 from Atomar. But also Seb may retire here in Sector 2 also. It's a very tricky part of the track and very high speed corners where grip can be lost easily. Let's see how Atomar and the 1:14.7 improving, but not enough for fastest time. Now let's go for Laikala now, who is also on a flying lap and going slower in Sector 1. And then the checkered flag is out, qualifying is over. Let's see, we still got a lot of drivers on track. And we have a tire in the middle of the track. And I'd like to also go fastest in Sector 2. Let's see how Laikala is gonna finish and crossing the line, and a 1:14.2, and Laikala goes fastest. And Laikala actually, yeah, he does. He takes pole in Mexico, and that was unexpected. But Laikala takes pole from Amir with only and it's a 68 milliseconds ahead of Amir. What an amazing lap from Laikala. He takes the first pole of the season for him, and I think that'll be it for qualifying. Yeah, that'll be it. Laikala on pole, and Laikala and Amir on the front row, followed by AV and Atomar. Oh, I'm still online here. And we are underway for the formation lap, and since I disconnected, let's no, that telemetry. That's predicted pit stop strategy from AWS. As they say, it's gonna be a two-stop, either soft, medium, or a soft, hard. Even though I highly doubt since I don't think AWS ever gets something right. Well, we'll see. It's gonna be Lycala and Amir on the front row, AV, Atomar, and gonna have Marcy, Shahwan, then Mason, Mati, Flip in Mooman rounding up the top 10. They're all gonna be on sub. Then we only have Seb and Hank left. So as we can see, it's a very long distance into turn 1. So I'm pretty sure the top 3 ain't gonna stay the same as it is now. And we hope for no theatrics heading into turn 1, and mostly we hope for no safety cars. And let's go waiting for the lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And an amazing start from Lycala and AV going very late, and was gonna be taken soon. And a lot of drivers going for that attack, and we'll also have Amir, who was trying to go from the inside but is backing out. We also have AV gaining back ground. And apparently the top 3 is unchanged. That's a disappointment. We've had Marcy overtake Atomar. So that's a pretty clean lunge into turn 1. No, nothing suspicious happened, but we have no overtakes. And in the top 3, we've had a lot of changes down the pack, but nothing in the top 3. We have Motti, who's mounting an attack on Flip, who's gone wide and is really struggling with his car today. And back again, and the fastest lap from Lycala, who is, and and Amir, who is already, and I think he is ahead of Lycala, and Amir into the lead, and the life timing is messed up. Monty is not second, and Amir taking the lead in the 3rd lap of the race. Even though I don't think it's the 3rd lap of the race. That's only the 2nd lap, but okay. So yeah, we still don't have DRS, so that's only the 2nd lap of the race. And AV apparently using all of his ERS and the home straight, the start-finish straight. That's gonna be a problem. And Atomar and Marcy were side by side heading into the final chicane, and now they'll also be side by side into turn 1. And there he goes. Marcy's got a lot of more. Surely got a lower wing. Also have who's gonna come out ahead into turn 1, and Marcy taking the inside line, and now taking the outside and defending perfectly. Meanwhile, we've had Flip, who now overtook both of the drivers while they were battling each other. That's a pretty smart move from Flip. And now Atomar is gonna try and go from the inside, heading into turn 6, but still not ahead of Marcy. Well, that attack from Flip was the unexpected attack. See now Marcy and also Atomar, but Atomar with DRS and trying to go from the inside and forcing Marcy a little bit out of the track, but Marcy defending his position well, and still 5th position for Marcy. And oh, Atomar hitting the what? What? Well, I don't know what just happened. Marcy, oh, he's still alive. Okay. And damn, that's pretty messy. And he's gonna go into the pits now. That's cool. Know what happened? And oh no! That's unbelievable from Atomar. Just went straight into the pit wall. And that's disappointing. Let's see, Marcy is still on the tail of Flip. Might a better exit out of turn 17. See now back at the top, we have Amir with a 2 seconds gap. Now let's see this ongoing battle between Marcy and Flip. And now the start finish straight, and Marcy will be having DRS soon and heading into turn 1, but still way far back and won't be able to do the move. And now with DRS again, this time they're gonna be heading into turn 6 or 5, but still also not close enough. I just wanna recheck. That's turn 4 actually, not turn 9, turn 5 or 6. And oh, contact between Flip and Marcy. Marcy apparently missed that braking point and went straight into Flip, and I think he has front wing damage, but that's not visible. Oh, and oversteer from Flip at the exit of turn 15. And now they're gonna go again on the main straight, and this time Marcy much closer than before, and with DRS And he is ahead of Flip, and now they're gonna be heading into turn 1, but Flip is way behind, and Marcy now closing the door for Flip, and Marcy into P4 now, and Flip with a 3 seconds time penalty after that, after being kind of forced off track. And let's see here, Mati and Hank. Mati with DRS, so he's gonna be ahead of Hank heading into turn 4, and to P8 for the Alfa Romeo. Well, back at the top we can see that Avi is decreasing that lead from 2 seconds, which is now 1.3 seconds. And oh, Flip spinning and into the wall, and that's it for Flip. And in sector 2, that's it for Flip, winning this car, and he's out of the race. And we have yellow flags here in this part of the track, but I don't think we're gonna have any safety car. And the safety car, I don't think the safety car will be coming out. Let's take a look between Amir's times and Avi's times. You have Amir lapping around constantly in the 118s. Meanwhile, we have Avi going about 0.2 of a second faster every lap for Avi. So I don't know if Amir is saving his tires or anything, but Avi is going faster. So it's now lap 9, and still no one into the pits yet. Well, we have 2 drivers into the pits, but they aren't coming out. Oh, now we have Mati going into the pits, and I think he's gonna switch to the mediums. Or another set of softs. Yeah, another set of softs, going for that predicted pit stop strategy. He's gonna go for a 2-stopper. So we had Mati go into the pits and maybe trying to go for that undercut on Hank and Mason, who because Mati is now decreasing that lead, and I think they're gonna come out behind Mati. Now we had Laikala go into the pit, and he's gonna switch to a set of hards. So Laikala going for that 1-stop into the hards, and he's also pitting early. Meanwhile, still no one into the pits from the top 2. Also now Hank going into the pits. Let's see if Mati is gonna come out ahead or behind, and he's gonna be ahead of actually so I'm mistaken, he was already ahead of Hank before going into the pits. So let's see if Mati is gonna overtake Mason after him going into the pits. And now Marcy going into the pits and switching to a set of hards. No, that's set of mediums. Well, that's gonna be tricky. If I don't know whether, and I think that's also a two-stopper into the mediums. We now have Shehuen going into the pit, then switching to a set of mediums. So we still have 3 drivers and Sebastian not going into the pits. Seeing that's pretty the usual from Amir, always going late and always for the right time, and I think it's gonna go for that one stop. And again, if you're gonna go and compare the times, then 118.8 and also pretty much the same times, the slight edge from AV, but they're lapping pretty much the same times. And now we have Mason going into the pit. Let's see where is Mason gonna come out. See if Motti's gonna overtake Mason. Because Motti was behind Mason and he pitted earlier, and yeah, he is ahead of Mason now. And no, he isn't actually. Motti is still behind Mason. And Motti is on the soft, so he should be trying to go for that overtake soon. Now let's see here, between the top 3 we have Lykola, 26 times, 26 seconds behind AV, and 28 seconds behind Amir. So Lykola, if he wants his strategy to work, Lykola should be ahead of AV and Amir when they pit. But he should be also saving his tires, so he shouldn't be pushing. Now let's see Motti and Mason now on the main straight. Motti with DRS and heading into turn 1. Yeah, Motti on the softs, and now he's gonna go from the inside and ahead of Mason. They were side by side, but Motti is ahead here in P6, and the slight contact between Mason and Motti. But also Motti is on soft, so he starts aren't gonna be lasting for long. Meanwhile, Mason is on mediums. Oh, and we have Amir now spinning, and also Avi spinning right behind him. Oh, that's boring. And we had Avi lose a little bit of time in the pit, but he is 2.2 seconds behind Amir. They pitted the same lap. I expected more of a strategic battle between Amir and Avi. Well, there we go. That's soon what we're gonna have. And they should both be pushing to the limits. And mostly Avi should be pushing, so because I think that's gonna be his only stop for today's race. Mason, who is on the DRS and is ahead, really, and Mason is actually back ahead to turn 4, and now at turn 5 Moti trying to go ahead and now into the hairpin, and Moti is back again ahead of Mason. It's a nice battle between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. And now again Mason with DRS. That's Moti now outside of DRS range. That's gonna be it for the battle between the two, but Mason is faster than Moti currently, so I don't think that Moti went for the correct strategic move. And now Mason right behind Moti, and he's gonna have DRS again, and this time he's gonna be heading into, and he won't be heading anywhere, but he was gonna be heading in turn 12 with DRS. Still not close enough for an overtaking opportunity. So, see back here, and in the previous lap we had Amir in the 117.390, meanwhile we had 117.562. Avi still slower than Amir on these mediums, and the gap still somewhat consistent at about 2 seconds, but now being cut a little bit, but it's always in that range. And we have yellow flags, and I think that's only nothing. That's only slow car. So as I was just saying, Avi should do something different. Maybe try and, I don't know, go for one more stop, or because if they stay that way, that's gonna be a somewhat easy win. No, not an easy win, but that's gonna be the win for Amir. Well, let's go back, and we have Amir now with a 3 seconds time penalty. That's something we don't see every day. Well, Mason, I don't know why Mace Mott, you know, he doesn't. That's just his wing is very weird. So, I'm sure Motti is burning off his tires right now. He's gonna have to stop soon. He's on late 8 lap softs. And again with DRS in the turn 12 at nothing. So we have Amir with a 3 seconds time penalty. Meanwhile we have Avi still on the clean slate. Not a single warning from Avi on Avi's side. So that's pretty much a decent performance from Avi. But let's see now. Motti on the home straight and we'll be heading into turn 1 together. No. Okay, so that's Motti ahead of Mason now, but Mason now is gonna be on the attacking side, but he doesn't have DRS. Motti does, since I think he was behind on the detection zone. Oh, and we have Seb Mail now retiring from session, and there he is actually. And the safety car is out. No, that's... And Amir going straight in the pits, and also Avi now going into the pits. And I think that's another pair of mediums, yeah, or a pair of mediums from Amir and a pair of softs from Avi. That's to be a safety car in lap 20 of the race. So, and the interesting thing that just happened, we have Avi on the softs with 17 laps left to go. But we're gonna have about 2 laps or 3 laps. I think we're gonna have about 2 laps or so on the safety car. So I don't know if those softs are gonna last till the end. And will that be the right choice? So, and in my opinion, that's gonna be the final lap under the safety car. So now the restart is most probably gonna be on lap 23, which means we're gonna end up with 14 laps left. So it's gonna be really tricky between Amir and AV, but the obvious is that AV should clear Amir as quickly as he can, because his tires are gonna be vulnerable towards the end of the race. And their safety car will be in this lap, and Amir trying to warm up the tires as much as he can. And AV should have a good exit, but that's not a bad exit. Next, and we are racing back again. We already have yellow flag, and that's the car of Hank, I suppose. Shihwen and nope. Not gonna be. Meanwhile, we have. We still have Mate and. We've had. Yeah, we've had Mate and Mason. No, that's Mate and. Sorry, I don't know. I lost focus. That's Shihwen and Mason. The two Alfa Romeos sandwiched between two Ferraris, and we're almost missing that breaking point. Meanwhile, let's see, back again at the top. We have AV way faster than Amir, and still without DRS, but he's gonna have a decent slipstream heading into turn 1. And now right behind AV, he's gonna go from the outside. Amir's gonna try, and he won't be able to defend. And that's AV now in the lead of the race with only 13 laps left to go. And he's on the softs. He needs to build as high as a gap as he can do. And the fastest lap now from AV and 116.3. The only driver on the softs, and DRS has just been re-enabled. So we have DRS back again. Let's see, Shihwen and Mason will be heading into turn 1 now, but Shihwen backing out. And he's gonna have... No, he's not. Okay, he won't be having DRS. He wasn't close enough. Now let's see, Shehwen now is gonna have DRS heading into turn, and that's turn 12. And I think that's turn 12. Yeah, that's turn 12, if I'm not mistaken. Still, also we have Mason on 11 laps mediums. So I don't know what Mason was thinking. I think he's still gonna go for one more stop. Meanwhile, back at the top, we had Marcy and Lykola coming to a close call. Marcy still behind Lykola. Meanwhile, we had Avi build a 1.4 seconds gap to Amir. Well, we still have 11 laps left to go. Everything can happen. Shehwen overtaking the vulnerable Mason on the 12 laps mediums. Well, let's see, the other Alfa Romeo is gonna try and go for the move on the Ferrari. We have the Ferrari Academy on display currently in front of us. And now Matti will... He's gonna have DRS, but still that won't be enough. And it's gonna go back between the battle between Marcy and Lykola for the podium. And it's gonna... no. Penalties. Marcy got 13 seconds 13 seconds worth of penalties, but he is ahead of Marcy out of turn 1, but he won't be retaining that position for long, unfortunately, if things stayed as it is now. We have Mason now go into the pits lane. He's gonna switch to a new set of softs. That's gonna be an interesting strategy from Mason, but in my opinion, not a good strategy. So you now have, let's see if we can compare the lap times. I know it's a 116.9 from AV, meanwhile it was 117.4, so that's a mere half a second slower than AV in the previous lap. So we still have 8 laps left, and AV taking a lot of curb outside of turn 3. Turn 5 actually, not turn 3. And I think Avi should be starting to... Oh, and we've had Lycolo go for the overtake on Marcy. He was still gonna be ahead anyways after adding the time penalties, but there we go. Marcy with that DRS. Again, it never harms if we have a battle on track. And with DRS on the main straight and from the inside, and Marcy back again ahead of Lycolo. See, and Lycolo's gonna, and Marcy's gonna have a DRS. No. In my opinion, that detection zone is pretty much misplaced. Let's see back again here, and we've had Amir go cut that lead a little bit. So that's Avi's time is starting to fall out a little bit. So his tire's life is coming to an end, but still only 6 laps left to go. I think he can hold, especially with Amir's 3 seconds time penalty, and you already have a 2 seconds gap. So you could say that's the 5 seconds gap from AV. That's pretty much what AV wanted. That's, you know, it's a good strategy choice from AV. Meanwhile, that's Lycolo again with DRS heading into turn 4, and again the fight for the podium, which for now is for Lycolo. Around on the home straight. This time Lycolo's behind, and he's gonna go from the outside, and with DRS, and that's Lycolo back again ahead of Marcy. And into P3, it's an amazing battle between the two, which unfortunately was rendered moot because of the penalties. Yeah, and we had Lycolo just go fastest in sector 1. And again, that's pretty much back and forth between Lycolo and Marcy. This time Marcy's behind, and Willie gonna be going for that overtake again, and he's gonna take the inside line, and Marcy is ahead of Lycolo. It's lap 33 now. Meanwhile, we have Amir cutting that lead, and it's now under 1 second. which is the highlight, and AV going wide outside of turn 6 and losing time to Amir. And the battle is on between AV and Amir, but Amir needs to overtake AV and also build a gap of 3 seconds, since we still have AV not a single. Oh yeah, he got one. But still. And I think Amir has DRS in this lap 34 now, only 3 laps left to go. And he's cutting that lead, but he's still way behind AV. And Amir got way much better grip than AV. Heading into the fast corner of sector 2, and he's gonna have DRS again, this time heading into turn 12, and he's much closer than before. And there he goes, he's still behind AV, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do that move on the home straight. And now outside of turn 16 and now turn 17, and there he goes now on the home straight, and he's gonna have DRS and hunting AV very close now, still a lot of distance to turn 1, and Amir is gonna take that outside line, and Amir is in the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix again, but still it's not over. He's gonna have DRS again, but still he needs 3 seconds to win this race. So AV stars are pretty much dead. That's why he's losing a lot of time to Amir's mediums, who pretty much taking good care out of his mediums and left them to the deciding laps. But unfortunately, I don't think that will be enough, except if AV gets penalty. He only got 1 warning till now. He needs 3 warnings for a penalty. And there we go, it's the final lap of the race, and AV's gonna have DRS. Will AV win on track, or will he win after the penalties, or will AV lose? No one knows, but now heading into turn 1, he's very much close and trying to go from the inside, and Amir closing the door and not allowing for any opportunity. I think he closed that door pretty much late, very late. And it's raining. We have droplets of water, but it's the final lap of the race, so that won't matter. And there is go, AV heading for the win. And there goes the fireworks. And now the final turns. And there we go, and AV wins the Mexican Grand Prix, 2nd win of the season after an upsetting penalty demotion from AV into 2nd place. Meanwhile, let's see, Marcio is ahead of Laikola, but Laikola will be on the podium, and Laikola finishing third, Marcy fourth, after an amazing battle between Laikala and Marcy. I think he got a penalty in the final seconds. First, Marcy is 4 seconds behind Laikala. Shawen fifth, and that's gonna be Mati, his teammate, right behind him. So we Mati 6, and we're gonna have Mason and Mooman also 7-8.